Okay, I thought I'd do a really quick video on my latest project, which is an Amiga 1200 upgrade that I'm currently doing. Now, I bought this machine as new old stock last summer from Amiga Kit, which means it was actually manufactured back in 1995, but it's never been opened or had a previous user. Amiga Kit actually bought a big batch of old unboxed Amigas and have been selling them off over the years, and I bought one of the remaining few that they had. So even though it was made back in 1995, it's I'm the first owner. It's basically mint condition, as good as new. Now, some of the upgrades that I fitted, I've already undone the case because I've been working inside it today. I can show you some of the upgrades that I've performed already, and it's going to be an ongoing project as I've got a few more things I'd like to fit to it in the next few months. Now, we've got an accelerator card in here, which I believe comes with 68 megabytes of RAM on board, if I'm not mistaken, and a 68030 CPU, so it's a nice little speed upgrade from the 020 that comes as standard in the Amiga 1200. Now, I bought this new from Amiga Kit. It's the ACA Amiga Classic Accelerator 030 at 28 megahertz, I believe. So that's installed now. It's a bit of a bust to get it in, actually. I've had to take away all of the... I had to basically pull this metal shielding off to get it in properly. It was a bit of a tricky job. I tried to just kind of go through the trapdoor at the bottom, but after about an hour of trying that, I gave up in the end. We've also got a compact flash card in here as well that has replaced the very small by today's standards hard disk that came with the Amiga that was shipped as standard. I think it was... I'm not even sure what the size of it is. I think it was about 160 megabytes. Which by 1995 standards was probably alright, but in 2011 I'd like something a little bit more beefy. And with it being a solid state drive as well, it'll boot really quickly. Now, I've had a lot of problems actually trying to get a solid state compact flash drive to work on this machine, as I've been trying this little combination here that I'd read on the forums. The type of adapter was sold as an Amiga IDE to compact flash adapter. Everyone's telling me the SanDisk Ultra 2 card will work no problem. And I've also got an Amiga 600 that this was working absolutely fine in. I also bought a similar combination that's in my Amiga 600 at the moment from Amiga Kit, which obviously you'd assume that they test everything with Amigas, so it should work. But I had no joy at all with this machine. Every time I powered it on, the display was going red, or it was just flat out completely ignoring it. So I did a bit of an appeal on the forums, and Mick on English Amiga Board actually came along to my rescue and sorted me out with basically a permanent loan of another compact flash adapter and a card that he tested on his machine, installed Workbench 3.1 for me, and shipped it off to me yesterday. I received it today, plugged it in, and I've done a little test and it works fine. So I'm not sure what the hell is wrong with this adapter here or the one in my Amiga 600. Seems like I've got a fussy Amiga for some reason, but thanks again, Mick, for the use of this card. It seems to work okay. Now, also in here, I've got a Pcmcia to compact flash adapter. Now, the reason I've got this, we've got a 4GB FAT32 card in here that I use for downloading files on my PC if I want to transfer any media to the Amiga 1200. Download it from the net, whack it onto this on my PC, slot it into here, and then theoretically I should be able to just read that card on my Amiga. Now, the next step of this upgrade is going to be a Pcmcia wireless card that I'm currently waiting on, which will allow me to get the Amiga 1200 hooked up to my Wi-Fi network and get it online, which obviously in 2011 there's not a hell of a lot that you can do on an Amiga 1200 on the internet. I'm not going to be watching YouTube or anything on it, but I thought, as a basic email machine and also doing IRC chat and that kind of thing, it would be quite cool. Even just for the novelty factor, as the Amiga 1200 was the first machine I went online with back in, probably talking about 97, I think I originally got my Amiga 1200, my original Amiga 1200, which is long dead, but I got it online back then. So now everything's put together, I thought we'd power up and just make sure that it all works together. So I've got my power pack over here, we'll turn it on, make sure the power lights come on, there we go. Let's check that it boots okay. There we go. Now, I was going to say in 2011, that is a really impressive boot time. I think, especially in 2011, that is impressive. If we time that again, that is insane, isn't it? So from power on, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, just over 4 seconds to a fully usable desktop. That is crazy. And as you can see, it is actually a very basic Workbench 3.1 install I've got here, which I am going to upgrade very soon, probably later on today actually, to OS 3.9. We can see at the top there all of the memory on my accelerator. The 67 megabytes by the looks of it is recognised. The standard 2 meg chip RAM that comes with the A1200. We'll just quickly make sure that everything is working. Yes, we can see that the 030 card is recognised, and that all appears to be okay. Very nice indeed. So there we go. Now the next step will be to get this little compact flash adapter working. Now, with it being a new install, I did have it on the hard disk that came with this Amiga, but I'm going to have to install the drivers for it again because it is a FAT32 card, so I've got those on floppy disk. We'll pop that in there. There we go. We get some easy ADF software, which is kind of cool. If I was to download any ADF files off the internet, you can write them to floppy disk using that software there. But I'll need to install the adapter and FAT32 drivers now, so we'll do that quickly. That will do, I think. Okay. Well, looks okay. So we get the FAT32 device handler in there as well. CFO, that will be the device number for the adapter that I've got there, the device letter rather, and that will put it in the DOS drivers. We get the device in there as well. Update the startup sequence, and we get these two little apps that needs to be run for it to work. So it'll do that all automatically. Yeah, do all those. That's fine. Okay, give it a reboot, and hopefully that will all be installed, and I'll be able to make use of that FAT32 card. So we'll go a quick reboot. I really wish my Windows 7 PC would reboot that quickly. So we'll just pop this in, and then hopefully it will get recognised on the desktop. There we go, 4GB compact flash. That's really good, and then I can transfer files over to my Amiga from my PC until I get it online, which hopefully won't be too long. So there you go, that's my A1200 upgrade at the moment. Next on the agenda, like I mentioned, is I'm going to try and get a nicer screen mode as well, because I did buy this, it's an HD television actually, and I'm connecting via SCART at the moment. I've already got an Amiga 600 with a 4GB compact flash in that I use for ADF games, so this is going to be more of a productivity machine really. And I want a nicer screen mode on it, so I did read on the forums that you can use interlace on most HD TVs, or LCD TVs even, without the flicker, but unfortunately it doesn't look like this model has got flicker fixer built in, as it's not very easy on the eyes. I don't know whether you can tell on the camera, but it is kind of flickering a bit. I don't think I could live with that. I could run Magic TV, which would give me more limited colours, but I think either I'm going to have to get a better display, or if I'm not going to be planning on using standard Amiga modes for now, I've also got a cable that will connect this Amiga 1200 to the VGA input on this display, so I could run it in VGA modes. The only thing then is that I'd obviously kind of lose access to the any apps that boot up into standard PAL resolution. So maybe you know, when they eventually become available again, one of the Indivision scan doublers will probably get fitted into this machine, and maybe just with a nice 22-inch monitor like I've got on my PC, and also my Amiga 1 over there as well. Excuse the mess in my office at the moment. And also probably a nicer table as well, as this is literally just a chest of drawers at the moment, but it's work in progress. So there you go, that's how my Amiga 1200 upgrade project currently stands. Thanks again to Nick from English Amiga Board for donating the compact flash card and the adapter. You've saved me a lot of headache, Mick. Thanks so much, and I'll keep you updated on how the project goes.